Hello, this video shows an Algebra 1 professional learning team conducting a Big 3 calibration exercise. The purpose of this video is twofold. First, the teachers who participated in the NISL training should be looking for evidence of the 5 coaching competencies, as well as the use of coaching stems, whether they be facilitative or instructional. Second, teachers should be looking for the adherence to the Big 3 calibration protocol.
Okay, did everybody get a calibration? So just the front side of this.
Yes.
So just so we all understand what we're going to do again. I mean, we did a paper and pencil before, but I kind of made a nice little sheet to help us see some data a little bit easier. So we're going to just do sample A first, couple minutes, go through your sample A. I have all the work here. Give your scores. Once everybody's done, we'll put them in. We'll talk about the differences, talk about how we graded it, and then just move on and do that same process for B. So one of the things that's in there that I put, that bottom of, you can see the different sections, the standard deviation. So standard deviation 0 means we're all the same answer. So a big quick look for is if our standard deviation is high to begin and then low at the end, almost 0 at the end, obviously this was a successful calibration. All right, so here is A.
Can we write on these? Or do you want to?
Yeah, oh, we didn't. So let's not say any students' names, because we took it off of one and forgot to take it off of the other part of it. Yeah, so just take one of those.
Oh, okay.
And then take one of those and pass them around. So we should have all the work and that stuff for where they got their average rates in this packet, and then we said if we just do the printout of what they wrote in the second packet.
Because these kids had this before we changed the format,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's a little
That was
spread out.
All right, so let's look at this person's.
This slide shows our scores for sample A. The conversation you are about to witness represents our analysis of the individual teacher scores and our attempts to form a mutual understanding of the student work, as well as the associated rubric.
The good news is, plan and organize, we saw exactly the same. The bad news is, plan and organize, we saw the same. Analyze, not so much. So I would say analyze would be the one. We had 2 4s, a 3, and a 2.5. So I would say that's a good one to really look at. So under analyze, accurately identifies 3 key moments in the race that affect the race's position. Correctly determines the winner.
So I can feel like whoever did this correctly when they were talking about David. When David suddenly, Carlos was catching up, right? So he's close. Carlos pushed David to the ground exactly halfway through the race. Carlos did not slow down a bit. I hope David is okay, although he's not, right? Albert passed him halfway through the race, only at a second after he was pushed at 7 seconds. Well, he wasn't pushed at 7 seconds.
7.5 maybe.
Yeah.
That's when he stopped moving. He stopped moving at 8.
At 8, right? Okay, so I was thinking 8 versus 7, because I figured they were together at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm being too picky, but.
No, I know what you're saying. For me, I had done a 4 because all we asked for in the rubric was accurately identifies 3 key moments. And he certainly accurately identified a lot more than 3 key moments.
Yeah.
So for me, my assumption is when we wrote this, or as I remember when we wrote it, to say 3 was our threshold. If he did much more than 3, I mean doubled it, then that should be advanced. So that's why I had said in analyze, I had said 4.
That's why I said 4 too, because he had quite a few key moments that went on throughout the whole entire story.
So given that, I would change my 3 to a 4. I took the 3 as, when it says 3 key moments in the race that affected the racers' positions, I did 3 key moments per racer that affected their position, so that's why I had done the 3. But if it was overall just 3 key moments in general, I would say that this would be a 4.
So that would bring me to this question. If we put ourselves in the student's shoes, right? Accurately identifies 3 key moments in the race that affect racer, or plural position, racer's position. So we didn't say specifically in there each, we just said 3. So that's how I interpret. I just went by if I was the student. But that leads to the question of, and we'd already had this kind of conversation before the other day, we changed the 4th racer. I think we need to up, when we look at this rubric again, we got to up how many key moments we asked for.
Yep.
Because now there's a plethora of key moments,
Right.
and we haven't asked for many.
Yeah.
So I put it as a 4 for those reasons. So any other, I mean, the only other one that kind of was, to me, was appeal was another one. 2 3s, a 4, and a 2.5. So again, I mean, did he set the stage for the race? I know where the race is, I know all that stuff. Choices of setting vocabulary and terminology are relevant to the race. I guess that was a tough one. But I felt like he set up where it was, and I felt like the story, like there was a story behind it. And that's what made me go 4. Even when I put in the 4, I think I was in my brain being a little too generous. So that's what made me, I think I was probably too lenient in terms of, I just liked that there was a story.
Well, I guess then the question that at least comes up for me for the appeals of the audience is, because I think that they did everything for the 3, I enjoyed reading it, so I kind of wanted to give them the 4, but what would classify it as the 4?
Yep.
Right.
I think that's probably what we'd have to work on when we look at this again. I think that's a note we should make of, because for me, it was just that I enjoyed the story was what made me go to a 4.
Yeah.
But if that's not what we all think should be a 4, then we shouldn't do that. But, so hopefully now, after doing A and going through, looking at those 2, analyze and appeal seem to be our widest ranging. The other ones, at least, it was 3s or 4s, 1 point different. I think we can kind of figure those out. All right, so any other comments with A? Feel comfortable with A?